Good morning, Andrea and Ben. How are you?
Morning.
Hi,
Very well,
Sheryl.
thank you.
Yeah, really good. Thank you so much for coming on today. We, as most of the people on this call probably know, we do recruitment for the hair and beauty industries in Australia and New Zealand. And a lot of businesses are experiencing staff shortages and they can't do everything in their business. So I know that you're a VA company where you've got amazing virtual assistants that can help with the admin, calls, social media, the list goes on and on. So, Ben, can you tell us a little bit about your business and how you can help our salon owners from pulling their hair out when they're trying to run their business and they can't do everything?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Cheryl. Thanks again for asking and for having me on today.
Oh, that's all right.
The word that I love to use, probably that we find a lot of small business owners, and I think that's what majority of salon owners are. They're often owner operated as
Yeah.
well. The word that I love to use is chief everything officer.
Yes.
um, which often, so that, yeah, exactly as you mentioned, they're in charge of running the socials. They're often still on the tools, so to speak, with their hands dealing with clients every day.
Running their
Often
team, hiring and
running it,
firing team
running a
members,
team,
being,
often doing payroll themselves, often doing
yeah,
bits of bookkeeping, all of these tasks that they do, they
yeah.
often do a lot of it.
And then they get burnt out.
They get burnt out. They've often got a family at home. Often, could be children, partner, this type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily what they signed up for or what they thought they were going to be
No,
doing.
it's overwhelming.
Very. Where
Yeah.
our business is designed to help business owners focus on what they do best, which is generally being in front of their clients,
Yeah.
hopefully making money, giving great customer service, and retaining those clients, winning new clients. That's what we're about. So there's
Mhm.
often certain tasks, and you've kind of hit the nail on the head at the start there. There's certain tasks that they do in a day that have to get done, but they're time consuming and it takes them away from being in front of their clients.
Yes, that's one of their big problems. They try and be everything to everybody, and then they're burnt out. They can't run their business suffers. So there's a big hole in their business that they need to fill.
That's exactly right. And so I guess how we offer a solution to fix at least part of that hole is we've got a big team. We've actually got two countries that we are aligned with. So we've got the Philippines. We've actually got a big office with the last count was around 220 staff in a big office in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Generally, so that's fantastic for back end admin, marketing, things like that, bookkeeping, accounting, personal assistance, all of these types of
So
things.
they can do accounting as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
A little for specialist roles like this, though. Obviously, we would need to quote each one individually, depending on what
Yeah.
exactly you needed. But we do even have certain clients who will have like Australian trained accountants to run certain things for them as well, or it might
Okay.
be people trained in bookkeeping to run the whole payroll, this type of thing.
Yeah.
That we can source, just depending on the skill set they need and qualifications. It may just be a little bit more for the pricing, but we'd obviously
Sure.
run through that. Where we've also got teams in South Africa, which tend to be much better for being, whether it be on the phone, whether that be customer service, whether that be sales, whether that be database, this type of thing. We find the language barrier very South African, very similar culturally to us here in Australia,
So
much
they're
more
easy to
confident.
understand. People aren't going to think they're annoying telemarketers, no offense.
No, not at all.
No,
So very
no.
easy to understand. So for anything sales, customer service, whether it be inbound or outbound phone, we normally prefer South Africa, probably just because of a bit of their initiative and culturally very much like us. Where in the Philippines, they're a bit more shy, is probably the best way to
Yeah,
put it.
yeah.
English is very good. I know some Asian countries there's different language barriers as well, but Philippines are very good for us to communicate with. So whether it be on a Zoom call, if that type of thing, they're fantastic. But normally, um, they're just not as comfortable at putting their hand up or thinking outside of the box generally.
Okay, so that makes sense.
But just to be clear on that though, they are excellent. Like so, English speaking comes from primary school, from children. They're very American influenced in the Philippines. So yeah,
Right.
a lot of American TV shows.
They
I think
watch.
Taylor Swift is normally top of the charts over there music wise. They're very yeah, just very American, so English is fine, but it's not quite as confident on the phone. Is probably the
As
best way.
South African. So, Ben and Andrea, why would they come to you for a VA compared to putting on a staff member? And do they need to train them themselves, or what do they need to do?
Great question. So staff, one here in Australia, they're expensive. They're going up and up in price. The fact that we've
$30
got
plus an hour.
yeah,
Mm.
and we understand as well different industries, and I believe your industry's one of them, that staff turnover can be relatively high, where you put X amount of time into training someone, you go through, well, it's not over that. I guess it's a step before. You spend a lot of time during an interview process, which obviously what you guys specialize in, which is fantastic to eliminate a little bit of that time. But it's still a big time investment, even before that employee starts. When they start, there's a big onboarding process for that. And then you hope that they're going to stay with you for a number of years.
That's just in the lap of the gods, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one stays with anyone forever, so we have to understand that. So do they have to train them, or do they have to interview them?
That's the next part. So the training is, yes, they do, but we will hold your hand and make that as easy as possible.
Okay,
So
that's good.
things like a Zoom call, like what we're on today, is very, very easy. You've also got another thing I'm huge on is using video programs. So there's one called Loom, that's Loom, Loom, and another one Scribe, which are fantastic for training. So it can mean, especially for admin tasks or the tasks that, they're not as sexy. They're a bit more back end of this is how we do our database. This is our CRM. This is our booking software. Is someone can just literally on their computer, they can do it themselves. So it's not really adding any extra time. It's, hey, next time I'm doing it for a client, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to record it. That recording gets turned into a process and gets sent through to your VA that they've got forever. Yeah.
So what about writing up legal contracts for terms of employment? Do we need to do that, or do you do that for us?
Because we're technically employing them, so you don't have to do any of that. We're
Okay, that's good. So you don't have to worry about any of the legalities of what you're paying them, whether you're underpaying them or overpaying them. Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Not at all.
That's the benefit of you do.
Yeah, look, that's the benefit of going through an agency like us is they're just getting a set monthly amount every month, like on the first of the month that you pay as an invoice or as a direct debit. Set up, done. You don't have to worry about superannuation. This keeps going up and up.
Service leave, sick leave,
all of that.
Someone pulling a sickie,
we manage all of that for you.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So can I ask the sort of prices roughly that you'd be charging for an admin person full-time?
So great question. And so the admin roles in the Philippines start relatively low. So we're looking around $10.50 an hour.
Wow.
That includes everything. So that's including the training, the onboarding, all of that type of stuff. So that's a full-time role with 37 and a half hours a week.
And they just keep working. They don't sneak out the back and look on their phones like some of the people that work in the salons.
Bit of a cultural difference, to be completely honest. Again, most of these admin roles are generally Philippines. Over there, they actually love work. It's a bit different to here. We often try to cut out early or less. They prefer to work less in a day. Over in the Philippines, it's generally, hey, I want more tasks. What's more things we can do? What's more that can get added in?
I agree, Ben. We've experienced that with some admin team over in Bali. They just work 7 days a week up till 10 o'clock at night. They just want to earn more money because it's different to our culture here where we just want to work 9 to 5 and then go to the pub or whatever. They just want to work constantly because the rate of pay is so low that they need to work longer.
But just to be clear, look, you're exactly right. But just to be clear, it's good money over there. And this is a really good opportunity. And it's something that we probably like working an admin job here in Australia. It may not be all that, I don't know, it's not something you may necessarily be super proud of. Like if you're going to dinner on Friday, it's not, oh, hey, I work admin for so-and-so. But over there, it's like in the Philippines, especially, it'd be, hey, I do the marketing and admin for XYZ business in Sydney or in Adelaide, in Australia.
It's a confidence thing. And the 4 other people working in the villages. What were you going to say before, Andrea? Do you remember?
Absolutely. Ben just made that point that absolutely they are very proud of what they do, and that therefore they put 110%. So they're very committed, and they want to please. So they really want to please the client, and therefore they just put that extra hours and extra energy into the task they ask to do.
Refreshing is that. So if someone needs a VA, like I would highly recommend to all of our salon owners to look into this, because even there's just holes in their businesses that, they could. And what about outboarding calls? This is one of the things that I see, that when I go to a salon, and I think we've spoken to about this as well, and I've been to lots of different hairdressing salons, beauty salons, wellness spas, where I go there and I never hear back from them for a phone call to say, hey, Sheryl, how does your hair look after 7 days? And do you need any more products? Do you have any feedback for us? And these salons could potentially be losing client after client after client by not keeping in constant contact, which I think is essential in the growth of your business, to keep up that relationship and pick up the phone, because some people just go, my hair was hideous, but I'm not going to say anything to anyone. I'll just go to another salon or I'll shop around. So is there something that your team can do?
That's the biggest one, I think, Sheryl. I'm a bit like that. Look, I don't, apart from going to my barber shop every couple of weeks, I don't really frequent salons. But for me, I understand the analogy. Like, for me, if it's going to a restaurant and the steak's slightly overcooked, like I would never, even if it's half eaten and they come up, oh, look, is that okay? I would never actually put my hand up and say it then and there. But if it was in a controlled way afterwards, say, hey, look, this was great, service was fantastic, but look, this wasn't quite the cut I wanted, or wasn't quite, that. I think it just gives people the opportunity, and then you've got the opportunity to save that client as well, instead of them going off and saying, oh, it was no good, or this, or they were rude, or didn't listen to what I wanted. If you've got the opportunity to get them back, whether that be to tidy it up or give them a discount next time, or something like that,
Complimentary head massage or whatever. And it's crucial for the feedback for the salon owner as well, so they can sort of go, okay, this is something I need to implement in my business. So when the hairdresser's doing their hair, they need to be able to ask them about, do they need any more products? Are they having issues with their hair, and how to solve that, and rebooking and things like that. So it's almost retraining the salon owner as well by getting this feedback.
Yeah, I love that, Sheryl. I love that. I think it's around making sure that they're, 10 out of 10 happy, but also there could be opportunities, as you said, to rebook, whether that be like booking another time, whether that be for other products or things that may help them. I think that's critical. Yeah, I love it.
Do you find the same, Andrea, that you never get calls, or is it just me?
No, absolutely. I never get calls.
Yeah.
No, I would I'm sure some males would appreciate it as well, but as a female, I would absolutely I would appreciate it to get a phone call or a message or via messenger, any type of a communication. Hey, how was your experience? Thank you for being a valued customer. Here is a 5% off for your next treatment, or whatever the case might be, which, we've talked about is the other day. I've been going to my hairdresser for years, and, you just don't get that. So yeah, absolutely losing clients, and not only Adelaide, but Australia, it's a very small world, and word of mouth, it's big advertising. And so when you are happy with your hairdresser, you will recommend to everybody, to all of your friends. So I think just a little bit of an extra that they can provide, it can go a really long way.
Well, your clients become your salespeople, and people don't realize that. You can have all these salespeople that you don't even have to pay just by looking after them. And we get referrals, and I love that. It makes me so happy if someone rings and says, Sheryl, so-and-so told me to give you a call because you'll look after them. And, that's how you grow your business. It's,
absolutely.
Websites are great, logos are great, but your branding is you and how you look after your clients.
Yeah. I think social media is critical. Just following Andrea's point, I think that's a way. Like, I know my partner will quite often, after she has a great, like, she wants to show it off. Like if you've just spent money on a treatment or something like that, you'd love to show it off as well. So that's a great opportunity that I think as well as a phone call, it can be it can be posting via social media to share with friends. If you've got 500 friends or something, potentially they've seen it. You've got, as well as phone calls, you've got things like messages on, whether that be Instagram direct messages, whether that be Facebook messaging, whether that be text messaging as well. Phone calls are great, but we do sometimes find, depending on the demographic, that they can go unanswered. A little bit the same with email. Like email, often people say, yeah, I want to get an email or send it to me as an email, but they often go unopened. So there's a range depending on the demographic of how we can communicate with them. Yeah.
I think a phone call and text messages are really important. And they could also keep a birthday registry. So they could have someone that follows up on their birthday.
I have significant dates often as well. I know that's what's a little bit different, but I know a florist that I deal with locally in Adelaide. That's what they do. They ask me, what significant dates would you like? So that can be, obviously my partner's birthday, it can be Valentine's Day, it could be anniversary.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these things will probably cross over with salons as well. But, yeah.
And, bring your girlfriend and you get 20% off your service and, get them to come in as well. Because if you love something, you're going to tell everybody. If you don't like something, you're going to tell everybody. So might as well look after your team and your clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. I love it.
So, Andrea and Ben, I think this is essential for the growth of most of our salon owners. So if someone wants to get in contact with you, do you have any information or a website that they can have? Oh, I think Andrea's had to go. She had another meeting. Is there a website that they can have a
look,
look
what
at?
I can do, Sheryl, I can forward you the details for it. But
Okay.
I guess the only thing I'd probably say is it's not cookie cutter at all. Like every
No.
salon owner or every business that I look after needs quite different things. So what I'd normally recommend is that they can just book a one-to-one strategy call with me. So,
Okay.
it's just a bit of a discovery on, hey, what do you do at the moment? What are you not doing enough of? What would you love to do more?
Sure.
That's probably the best thing. And they can book either a 30 or 45-minute strategy.
That's a good idea.
With either myself or Andrea. I think that's the best way. And then we can understand what will work, what won't work, any questions. But obviously, yeah, look, we'll forward you details for the website. But I think that's the best way. And there'll just be a link in the calendar that they can book, for whatever time, beginning of the day, end of the day, eating lunch, anything like that, where we can catch up for a discovery.
Dinner's normally a popular time. Or otherwise, they can contact me and I'll put your details through. And, if they come through us, you'll look after them extra specially, won't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As long as, we'll make sure they mention your name. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for having both Andrea and I, Sheryl. Really look forward to helping if we can in any way.
I'm sure you'll be able to. All right. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.